it right down there. So that should pop up on my night so I can share it. Okay.
Who's joined. You can see if anybody types a comment.
Okay, so it should come up on my.
Well, you can watch it on the computer.
Oh no, but I'll try to.
So I can watch myself. Okay. See if I can turn on some lights. Can everybody see me? So, hi guys. You're probably wondering why I'm sitting here in the dark. Maybe. Kind of dark. So, we are getting ready to kick off this moon workshop, Expanding with the Moon. And I wanted to offer it to those individuals that aren't in the San Antonio area. So we're going to kick it live and see how this works out. So we're just waiting for anybody that's at the festival that would like to come in and participate in the workshop. We're going to give it a few minutes. But I wanted to get up online to make sure everybody could hear me, they could see me. If you have any questions, my dad is back there watching over the comments. So if for any reason you can't hear what I said or you have any questions about what I've said, please make sure that you type it in there. He has promised to monitor that for us.
Give me a test. Send me a test right now. I want to see if you're paying attention.
Yes, send us a test question on there.
You can see in here. Constance said she can see in here.
Who?
Constance Merriweather.
Oh, hi Constance,
So
you
I
made
just
it.
texted her and said, I saw that.
Constance, this is going to be like a replay for you guys if you and the kids are watching. But I'm glad that you are. You never know, maybe you'll pick something up that we might have missed last time.
Constance says she's happy to be here with you.
Great. Alright. Well, if any of you guys would like to share this video out, feel free to share it out in any group or web page while we kind of wait for anyone here at the festival to join us that would like to.
should have been, well, I should have been on my phones. The ones came up on there. Nancy Joe from Cibolo, Texas is on. Get on there. There you go.
All right.
So Nancy Joe's on from Cibolo.
Perfect. What time do we have?
We have 1:04, I believe.
1:04. So
Yeah.
let's go ahead and get started. So working with moon energy. So what makes it so plausible or easy to work with moon energy? Everyone always hears during a full moon someone say, watch out, the crazies are coming out, right? Because during a full moon, everyone seems to be so much more intense. Why is that? Well, if you think about the pull that the moon has, even just on tides, right? A big body of water such as the ocean, the moon can affect the way that it moves. Our body is between 65–70% water, depending on height and weight, but our brain is made up of 80% water. So to have an effect on a big body of water such as the ocean, our brains aren't even as big, even though we would like to think so, right? But the amount of water concentration. So naturally, that moon's pull is going to have an effect on us, right? And this is where emotions are felt more intensely, different retrospects and things of the way that we flow through those emotions. So being able to harness and look at what phase the moon is in, where the energy is highest, what can we work on ourselves with this energy. This is what we're going to learn today through the workshop. Everybody during New Year's, the end of the year, they're really always looking for what? They're looking to set these new goals for the future, the new goals coming into the new year. Why don't people's resolutions work? What is it about a New Year's resolution that doesn't seem to stick? What we're going to look at in the power of the full moon coming December 22nd and 23rd is really how to get rid of what no longer serves us and move into a time of manifestation of abundance. Some people would refer to that as resolutions, but we really refer to it as bringing in abundance, and we'll kind of go into that a little bit more into depth. So everyone knows that the full moon is when the moon is this big bright ball in the sky, and what they would call the new moon is kind of when there's no moon. But the rest of the lunar cycle seems to be a mystery to some people, right? I teach 4 cycles within the moon, so it makes it a little bit easier to follow. I have, for some of you that have been with me, know that I've done a 28-day workshop which kind of follows the moon in each one of its cycle breakdowns. It takes an extreme amount of energy to follow at 27%, 18%, 92% full. So for the most part, I like to teach 4 main phases of the moon. So the new moon would be the first part of this phase, and it is when there is a newness in the sky. Some would say that there is no moon. We know that this is not true, that in fact the moon never goes anywhere. We just rotate at different angles, and the sun, the light cannot refract, and which is why we don't always see a moon. If you have a great telescope, you can often see a line around the moon during this time. But the new moon is really there as the time to plan your next moves, as the time to look at this as a clean slate, which is why we see this darkness in the sky. And it's important to know that during the full moon cycle is often looked at as a death and rebirth. So the new moon would be the rebirth, the birthing of new things to come for our next moon cycle. After the new moon cycle, the way that I remember the next moon is, I'm an 80s kid. Karate Kid happened to be very popular during that time. So the next moon is the waxing moon, because we wax on. Okay, I know. Wax on. I know you guys are never going to forget that, right? So the next moon after the after the new moon is going to be the waxing moon. Why is it important that we look at the moon cycles in between the full and the new moon? These cycles here are really going to help us cultivate, grow, nurture the intentions that we set to bring abundance in, but also the positive, grateful mindset of the areas that we released that no longer serve us are going to save that space. So during the waxing moon, it's really when we start to cultivate and grow the intentions we just set, right? And during this time, we're looking at positive mindset changes. We're looking at the power of gratitude, how to change our thoughts and processes. After that, after the moon grows, it then becomes the full moon, which is the height of energy for that moon. This is a great time because the moon is in its fullness, all of its power and glory, to get rid of what no longer serves us, okay? So the full moon is used as that. After that, we move into a waning moon, and anybody who's worked with me knows when we move something out, we have to move positive in to replace it, right? So that way it doesn't find its way back in. So we replace it with gratitude, we replace it again with positive mindset. So looking at the new year, we know that the full moon is going to start the 22nd, 23rd of December and kind of go through there. So I have created a workbook for those of you that are interested in kind of helping walk through this process. So the first thing that we're going to do with the full moon and kind of working through this workbook is really looking at letting go. Most people will want to let go of past relationships or financial stressors, but it's really about working through what's cluttering your mind, what's cluttering your thoughts, what's the limiting blocks that are keeping you from manifesting into greatness. And that's where this journal really walks you through the week leading up to the full moon, about really pinpointing and reflecting on the question of what no longer serves me. Going into this new year, is negative self-talk really the block that's keeping me from manifesting good? And if that's the case, how do I release that? So working in this workbook is really going to help you work through that. At the end of the full moon, we do a sacred bathing ritual. The difference between sacred bathing and bathing is really pretty simple. When you bathe, shower, you're bathing to cleanse. When we do a sacred bath, it is really for the purpose of the ceremony or ritual that it's tied to. When we look at the week leading up to the full moon, we look at that week that's really going into depth of what's no longer serving me, what can I get rid of? and we step into this week and say, this is what we finalized down. It no longer serves me. I'm here to get rid of it. So we step into this releasing ceremony where we set this space, and for that, I have created a Dead Sea Salt bath. This has Dead Sea Salt, sage, rosemary, and lavender in it. So you, in a sense, I have the directions for the ceremony in the workshop, but in a sense you would set the appropriate sacred space, put this bath in there, and this is also paired with a face mask, because if anybody has ever had a bad day or something has stressed you out, someone always says, go splash some water on your face, take a minute, relax, right? There is something about the power of washing our face or running water over our face that cleanses the emotion, the frustration, or the physical debris that is even attached to that. So my beautiful friend Miriam over at Pure Aloha has made this wonderful charcoal clay face mask that is to be paired with the cleansing sacred bath. And you put this mask on and you soak in Dead Sea Salt, which effectively, scientifically, will pull toxins from the inside of your body out. So the entire time you're focused on releasing what no longer serves you. You have this clay mask pulling out toxins, the Dead Sea Salt pulling off toxins, and at the end we literally wash away that worry, stress, fear of those blockages or stressor that is going to be limiting us from moving into new abundance in the new year. Anybody who's done sacred bathing, especially in a cleansing ritual, will tell you when they get out of that bath, they feel lighter. That blockage or that debris or that stressor, anger, sadness, whatever it was that they were looking to release has gone. And it's a very powerful tool, especially under harnessing that full moon. Again, we're in water, which we know the moon's pull has an effect on. After the full moon, we talked about then moving into the waning moon, right? And this is really about taking care of ourselves, changing our mindset to be positive. We've just released what no longer serves us. And in order for that low vibration, debris, negativity, whatever it was, to not come back, we replace it with good thoughts. So this is where creating that positive mindset, that positive self-talk is going to come into play. During this week, the workbook is filled with things that we love about ourselves, things that create a positive attitude, how we can cultivate a positive attitude in our everyday lives. So during this week, there is not necessarily set rituals or ceremonies. Only what we look to do is create that space, create that positive mind flow, and enhance it with a meditation. In the workbook, I have mentioned several free apps with meditations that I like to use for this week when we look at positive affirmations, challenging those negative mindsets, challenging those negative thoughts. There's a couple great uplifting, positive self-talk that you can even use when you're sleeping. After this week, we really go into the new moon. We've cleared what no longer serves us. We've began to work up a positive mindset through the waning moon of this great power that's within us. Now we're ready to bring in new abundance. We're ready to bring in greatness and manifest these great things into our life. So bring on the new moon, right? In the new moon, we're looking at manifesting lots of things. You know, a lot of times when people say, I'm going to manifest, when they talk about abundance, they talk about money, material items. Understand that manifesting in abundance don't have to be materialized. This can be in the form of love. This can be in the form of time, to create space to continue to meditate or work on projects that you may not have had time to work on. So in the workbook, we really focus on what we're good at, what is going to make you happy with doing these things, because this is the area we want to build into our lives, right? It's not just about money, love, physical things, cars, houses. That's great. Anybody can manifest those if they put their mind to it. But we want to focus on, over the next 28 days, over the next moon cycle, what can I start with that is going to uplift me spiritually, help me to grow as an individual. So that is really what this the workbook week is looking at. We do have a new moon ceremony, which is a super powerful tool that we look at all of the things that we would like to manifest. And in your mind, when you're thinking about them, there's so many different. But to physically put it on paper and the way that the ceremony is set out, to have a circle drawn around you and moving objects and items, it's a very powerful tool. So great time for the new moon and looking at what's coming in. And the new moon coming through the new year is going to be right at January 5th and 6th, right? So we've just gone through all the excitement of the holidays. Now your new moon's coming in. So you have great time to do this. Time after the parties, time after that, to really take inventory and look at ourselves, to see what we can manifest. Excuse me. So after the new moon is our last phase, and we just learned from Karate Kid, we're looking at the waxing moon, right? Because we're going to wax on, right? This is all about being grateful. Full moon, we're releasing what no longer serves us. The waning moon, we're backing it up and reinforcing with positive self-talk, learning how to change our mindset into a positive nature, following it up by the new moon, creating new space and new abundance into our life. But we cannot do that without the power of gratitude. There's an extremely great quote that I love for this time of the moon, and it's, "A grateful mind is a great mind, which eventually attracts to itself great things." We cannot move forward without being grateful for what we have now, and I think that's a lot of times what people forget about, maybe when they are looking at manifesting abundance or bringing in new, which is why so many people's New Year's resolutions don't last. Not only have they taken the time to go inward and look at what is best going to serve them, moving out old before bringing in new, they forget to be grateful for what they have now. So this part of the moon, the waxing moon, is truly about being grateful for what you have now. Looking over this week at what you can be grateful for today. Looking at what we would consider challenges or obstacles as lessons, and being grateful that that lesson was there and chosen for you in order to move up and be powerful and grow spiritually as a person. Part of harnessing this new energy coming in is also about taking care of ourselves, being grateful for this physical body that we have chosen to lead us through this lifetime on this planet. So again, I've chosen another sacred bath for this phase of the moon. It was said that Cleopatra used to bathe in goat's milk and rose petals every day, and she used to do this, and her skin was so exquisite. So I thought, what better way to show our bodies how much we are grateful for the things that we put it through every day, than to pair it with a goat's milk, pink Himalayan salt, and rose bath. Again, this is a sacred bath. This is a bath that is about nourishing and being grateful for what we have in a physical form, right? That has led us through what we've been, where we're going. Once we complete this cycle, it's really meant to put a closure on the new abundance we've asked to come in. Some of the things we've asked to manifest during a new moon may not happen in only one moon cycle. Some of the things we've asked to release during a full moon ceremony may not happen in one moon cycle. Understand that this takes work, and nothing is going to come easy. It's not going to be a fix in a bottle that someone has mixed up or helped to conjure. These are tools. These are tools to help you grow. And what we've put together here has come from my spiritual team to help you release what needs to be released, but then help to bring in. And you can continue to do this moon cycle. And as you grow with the moon cycle, you can switch and move different ceremonies or meditations or different things like that. For those of you that are watching online, if you have any questions, please, now would be the time to go ahead and type those in. Also, if you are looking at possibly purchasing one of the sets, we can have it sent out on Monday. I think that's important to know. But it also, the full set, what we have, is also paired with an essential oil. Because during the meditations, we have the oils to open up communication lines, which is either infused with moonstone or rose quartz. We do this to open up the line of communication during meditation, but also to reinforce that unconditional love with ourselves in the positive mindset and the grateful gratitude for what we have today. So does anybody have any questions? Okay, so the full package, which we have the workbook, a rose quartz bracelet with the essential oil, the 2 sacred baths, and the face mask is going to be $50. The 2 sacred baths and the face mask is going to be $25. And the 2 sacred baths with the workbook is going to be $35. So there you go. If you guys have any questions or need a little bit more explanation into anything that I've gone into, are interested in one of the sets, please feel free to reach out to us either on Burgundy Wishes, here on Red Feather Healing. If you guys are going to be at the festival today, feel free to stop by the booth. But I really thank you for taking the time to come hang out with us today and see how this kind of workshop / live is going to go. We may do some more of these in the future as we teach every month. So looking at expanding to offer to those that are not here as in the physical sense as well is definitely something that we're going to begin to explore. So again, thank you so much, and I just want to remind you to take the time during the end of this year and the beginning of the next to really look at our souls look at our physical bodies and replenishing them, because just like soil needs time to replenish before farmers plant new product, our body needs time to replenish before we bring in anything new. So many blessings to you guys, and we will definitely see you soon for another teaching. Thank you.